Racing Bulls has everything to prove in 2025. They were once the ultimate proving ground for future Formula One champions, but now Red Bull's second team faces driver shakeups, sponsorship uncertainty, and an identity crisis that could reshape their future. Is their time running out? Today, we'll break down everything you need to know about Racing Bulls for 2025, diving into the chaos that was their 2024 season, the ripple effects of losing Daniel Ricciardo, and why 2025 could be their most critical season yet. So it's time to lock in because we've got a lot to cover, including their nightmare driver situation. Before we get into 2024, let's rewind. It's crucial to understand exactly what Racing Bulls are now and how they got here. The story of Racing Bulls begins in 2006, when Red Bull acquired the struggling Minardi team. Their bold vision was to create a junior squad dedicated to nurturing young talents and preparing them for the main team at Red Bull. Since then, the team has undergone several rebrands, starting as Torro Rosso, then later Alpha Tauri, then VCARB, and now simply Racing Bulls. It was a daring experiment that seems to have paid off handsomely. Early on, the team became a launchpad for one of Formula One's greatest success stories, Sebastian Vettel. Vettel joined in 2007, and then made history in 2008 by winning the Italian Grand Prix and becoming the youngest ever driver to win a Formula One race at that time. This victory again highlighted the team's ability to nurture future champions, with Vettel going on to dominate Formula One and become a four-time world champion. But Vettel was just the beginning. Daniel Ricciardo earned his promotion to Red Bull Racing after proving himself at Torro Rosso, and he went on to become a multiple race winner. And then there's Max Verstappen, who stunned the world by joining Torro Rosso at just 17 years old in 2015. Though his time at the team was brief, it provided him with the experience he needed to excel in the high-pressure environment of Formula One. Verstappen too rose to become a four-time world champion, further cementing the legacy of Red Bull's second team. The team's mission was simple: to develop future Formula One superstars for Red Bull. While they've succeeded many times, the challenge remains: how do you thrive as a team yourself when your best talents are always destined to leave? In recent years, Racing Bull's purpose has become less clear. Take Yuki Tsunoda for example. Despite 4 years of steady progress and outperforming Liam Lawson and Daniel Ricciardo at key moments, he was leapfrogged by Lawson for the 2025 Formula One seat, again raising doubts about whether Racing Bulls is the pipeline for the main Formula One team, or they're just something else. Even Daniel Ricciardo's return felt out of place. As an experienced race winner, he didn't really fit the team's original purpose of developing rookies, showing again how confused their role has become today. And that leads us straight to 2024. 2024 was a season of highs and lows. They finished in 7th with only 46 points, and 2024 was supposed to be the turning point for the team, with Daniel Ricciardo's return and a car that was influenced heavily by Red Bull Racing's RB19. The expectations were great. The hope was for Ricciardo to beat Yuki, for the car to bridge the gap to the midfield, and for the team to once again reassert itself as part of the Red Bull family. However, in reality, they fell short. Ricciardo's comeback didn't deliver the dominance that many expected. Despite his very brief moments of brilliance, like his 4th place finish in the Miami sprint race, he ended the season with only 12 points, and he was outperformed easily by Tsunoda in key races. Tsunoda, on the other hand, managed to impress on occasion, with 3 7th place finishes in Australia, Miami, and the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, securing 30 points overall and finishing 12th in the drivers' standings. While he did show consistency throughout the season, it wasn't enough to bring the team beyond 8th in the constructors' standings, and Tsunoda early in the season showed why he's got a reputation for having a bad temper. The car itself though wasn't anything great. Although they did showcase technical advancements borrowed from Red Bull's RB19, including the pull rod front suspension and the improved rear suspension, these upgrades promised better stability and aerodynamics, but they just didn't deliver consistent results on the track. The car often struggled for pace and efficiency, leaving Racing Bulls unable to challenge other midfield teams. They also had poor decision making, and it repeatedly cost the team valuable points. Take the Hungarian Grand Prix for example. Ricciardo was pitted early from 9th on the medium tyres and ended up rejoining in 18th, facing heavy traffic. This error essentially ruined his whole race, and became a symbol of the team's operational struggles. Daniel Ricciardo's mid-season exit was also incredibly badly handled. He was replaced by Liam Lawson after the Singapore Grand Prix, and Ricciardo knew, but he had to act like he didn't, as the team delayed the announcement. Fans and everyone alike was just really unhappy, and it left a sour taste in our mouths. It still raises questions today about the management at Red Bull regarding their drivers. Really seems like a toxic culture. Ricciardo's absence in 2025 leaves a significant gap for the team. He wasn't just a driver, he was the team's most marketable star, and a key leader. Ricciardo's global appeal attracted major sponsors like Visa and Cash Up in the first place, and would have helped drive their merchandise sales. Without him, the team risks losing casual fans and sponsor interest, and overall just a weakening impact in Formula 1. For drivers like Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson as well, Ricciardo acted like a mentor. His experience and steady presence in high-pressure situations will be hard to replace. Personally, as a fan, Ricciardo's personality and visibility, especially now that it's been amplified by Drive to Survive, made Racing Bulls more than just a junior team. Losing him might diminish their connection with a more casual, wider audience. And Ricciardo's departure leaves Racing Bulls kinda struggling with their identity again. So what's next? Well, 2024 definitely exposed the cracks in Racing Bulls' foundation. A car that didn't meet the expectations, driver dynamics that failed to inspire confidence, and many strategic errors that compounded all together to show a struggling team. Now, heading into 2025, the team faces an uncertain future. Can they rediscover their purpose, or will they continue to drift further into irrelevance? Well, for 2025, Racing Bulls enters a new chapter. They're trying to redefine their identity with significant changes aimed at improving their fortunes both on and off the track. While personally, I don't really think it's going to show any improvements for 2025, there is still a lot going on. Notably, there's a rebranding. After years of confusing branding for the team, they've simplified the name to Racing Bulls. This move reflects a push to clarify their identity as a part of the Red Bull group, whilst being distinctly different from Red Bull, and just overall helps their marketing efforts. I don't think anyone knew what to call them for the past year. In addition, whilst their main base still remains in Faenza, Italy, Racing Bulls have expanded their operations with a new aerodynamics facility at the Red Bull Technology Campus in Milton Keynes, UK. This state-of-the-art facility is expected to enhance their development, especially in regards to wind tunnel work and CFD testing. Another thing that's changing though is the driver lineup. Yuki Tsunoda brings experience and consistency to the team in his 5th season. And in the second seat, they've got Isac Hadjar. The 20-year-old Formula 2 star makes his Formula 1 debut as a part of the Red Bull Junior Driver Program. Overall though, I think their driver lineup is fairly weak. Yuki can tend to be inconsistent or emotional, and Hadjar's unknown. They have though made those key developments into their aero department with the upgraded CFD facilities, and they're more so aligning with a shared strategy with Red Bull of maximizing the allowed synergies between the two teams from 2025 onwards. So it seems almost certain that Racing Bulls are aligning tighter with the Red Bull main team for the foreseeable future, and hopefully going back to that driver development team of the past. And it wasn't even that long ago that rumors were circling about Red Bull selling the team entirely. In late 2024, there were internal discussions reported from Red Bull themselves that they were considering to actually sell RB, or the second team, as they weren't sure if it was worth maintaining two teams on the grid. However, they ultimately decided to keep Racing Bulls, citing the improvements for their strategy advances, as well as having a second team. It's just useful when they're trying to train drivers, especially considering how many drivers they've got within their junior program. Overall though, as Racing Bulls head into 2025, they do have plenty of changes, but the road ahead looks uncertain. While their rebranding, expanded facilities, and the continued Red Bull support signals ambition for the team, these changes are unlikely to pay off immediately. After their turbulent 2024 season, with rumors that they were planning to sell the team entirely, it's clear that the long-term restructure is more of what they're looking for, rather than immediate results. And that's always been the team's priority. My prediction is that Racing Bulls will finish 9th in the Constructors' Championship. With a rookie like Isac Hadjar and Yuki Tsunoda leading the charge, consistent points may be hard to come by. In fact, I think they'll be overtaken by Williams, who've made significant strides and look poised to climb the Constructors' standings for 2025. That said, I'm still eager to see what Tsunoda can deliver. He's shown time and time again that he can pull points out of nowhere and have some great drives. So overall, I hope he can keep them in the fight. If you're curious about why I think Williams could leapfrog Racing Bulls, check out my video on how Carlos Sainz may save Williams' Formula 1 team in 2025. It's on screen now. And subscribe for more Formula 1.